All right, next we're going to listen to a track that when I encountered this in game, it really spoke to me. It set such a mood and such a tone. It's the track that plays during the interlude sections of the game. It's called End of the World. Oh, I hate to stop it, but right from the beginning, it just puts you in a place, right? It just instantly transports you there. So orchestrationally, we have strings and piano. That's the most resolution we get. String pad just holding long notes with very little movement over a just basic chord progression. Piano, dun 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 dun. You know, it really makes you wait. But even then, it's not like a big 5-1 resolution. Hamautsu's style is very floaty. Like there's a lot of extended chords, and it doesn't have that strong sense of resolution that you would expect a lot of the times. The chords just kind of stay there, and it really helps to have this track feel so unresolved because of the nature of this track and where it appears, right? It just adds to this sense of uneasiness and foreboding, or I don't even know what to call it. It just was very ominous, even though on the surface it's just beautiful music, but there was something about it that just feels like there's this sense of dread bubbling underneath. Just, you know, something's wrong. Yeah. All right, let's continue. The chord progression repeats as before, strings basically the same probably, but now we have a single flute, melody over the top. Another very Hamautsu-like thing, just a slow-moving flute line over the top of this very static accompaniment. Now strings. Horn as well. Do you hear how it's building? It's basically the same 4 measures that are just repeating over and over with new things added on top. And I love this kind of writing. I especially love what I like to call like introverted emotion, where it's like you can feel it underneath. It's not in your face. It's just like bubbling, waiting to come out. Yeah, it starts just with the strings and the very little piano. Each time adds a major element, but also a bunch of little things. It just really adds to the weight. That's what I was looking for. It has a certain weight to it. It feels heavy. And that was the impression I got when I would hear it in game. It felt like having a heavy heart, you know? For so long, we didn't really know what was happening in this part of the game, but it felt sad. It felt uneasy. Are they all dead? Is this the afterlife? Is this like, we don't know. And it just made me so uneasy. It was a feeling that stuck with me, kind of set me with this sense of existential dread that just continued even after I put the controller down, just because of the beauty of this music and how it enhanced the scene which it appears. That little piano flourish at the end, da 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 da, just to add a little bit into the transition into the next repetition of this same chord progression that has been going this whole time. So here we have, of course, the horn line, really adding a lot of weight to this. It feels kind of like we've arrived a bit now. And it feels also very grounded to me, just because of where the low end is and the bass drums, just really making it sit like it feels heavy. But we also have soaring. We have soaring strings, and now the flute has returned and is doubling the string line, which, by the way, I love this combination. I swear violins and flute doubling is like one of my favorite orchestration hacks. I use it in my arrangements a lot in such a way that you don't even hear the flute that much because it blends so well, but it adds weight to the strings, which are usually an otherwise more focused sound. So it adds this extra width. So they really enhance each other so well. Ugh, it's just so yummy. I love it so much. Finally something new. We spent over a minute on this same chord progression, just building, and now, where have we landed? Let's see. Solo horn. I hate to stop it there, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this section, this horn solo, which is so beautiful, so simple. So this is not an actual quote of the Avalanche theme melodically, but I feel like it is a reference to the Avalanche theme anyway, because the nature of the writing, the fact that it's on horn, it features that da-dum, bum-bum, this movement in fifths, open fifths or fourths, which is a big part of the Avalanche theme, which I'll just throw here for reference. It has a very militaristic kind of vibe. And so does this in a way. It has that kind of heroic sound that you can only get from a horn playing this kind of thing, right? It makes sense that the Avalanche vibe is quoted here because, of course, of, Biggs' story and everything that happens in this part of the game. Plus, it's like we had this whole minute-long opening build-up that was so kind of heavy, but now there's hope. And that was kind of the theme. Things are looking bad, but there's always hope, right? That was kind of the message. Oh, so beautiful. Suddenly, Aerith's theme, to mention this beautiful da-da-da-da-da-da-da violin flourish. So I think the notes are da-da-da, da-da-da, which is not Aerith's theme, the notes, but it's the rhythm. It's just a subtle reminder of Aerith's presence in this music here. Obviously, Aerith's theme, right? But it's just kind of tucked in there, so it's subtle. This part is just so beautiful. Just the flutes and just how open it is too, because in the beginning it was kind of thick in terms of the sustain, and now it's just much more airy, it's much lighter. Even though it's still a bit sad, it's like there's hope. Solo violin coming in. We have a 3-chord progression here. It goes da, 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 and then sits, da, da, da. And then one more time, da, da, da. And the weight is coming back. We're starting again to repeat phrases to build. And where we had this open, airy material before, now we're starting to build up again. Okay, technically there are 4 chords, but the part I was listening to, that one, the third note sits on it, and while other chords change.
Editor's note, I realize I did not explain this well at all, but basically what I was trying to say is it's a 3-chord progression. It goes from G minor to F major to E flat, but there is a suspension on the final chord that resolves on the 4th beat. That's why there's still movement on all 4 beats, even though it's just 3 chords. Back to this.
It feels like it sits there. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Like it's heavy. Like we're trying to go through this, but it's heavy. But we're still trying. And now, we're back to the beginning. Did we get a resolution? No. Did we get a resolution to all of that? No. Not at all. No resolution. The music kind of feels like it's not going anywhere, but in a good way, like in an impactful way. It's meant to feel like you're just hanging on and you're not necessarily, like there's hope and you're doing all you can, but this is what's happening. This is where we are. And we still don't really know where they are, right? I mean, yeah, parallel universes or whatever. That whole theory of this actually being the live stream is pretty compelling too, so who knows? It still feels very much like purgatory, and that was kind of what I thought for a while. Like, is that what this is supposed to be? Yeah. So it's just, this track is so simple, but it is so effective. It is so powerful. It's one of the most powerful tracks in the whole game to me personally. Let me know what you thought about it, honestly, because I want to know if anyone else was really as struck by this as I was. Oh, just really blew me away. Totally blew me away.